am Lillian with Tribe 3 Productions. I'm here at the Days of the Dead convention. And who are you?
My name is Deidre. Hi, Lillian. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. So, what is your role here, I guess?
I am one of the psychic mediums associated with Shadow Hunters Paranormal and Investigation and Events. So I'm here today providing psychic or mediumship readings for anybody who chooses to sit with me.
Oh, excellent. So, when was the moment where you felt that you had a calling for this or a gift?
That's always a magic question. And I think, like so many of us, there were multiple points along my journey at which I was aware that I could communicate with people who had already crossed over. One of those moments would be when a kitchen counter had a glass suddenly fly off of it and land in the middle of the kitchen when there was no one in the room. I was about 7 years old when that happened. And probably the most significant thing that happened next would be when I lived in Arkansas. And my grandfather, who had passed years prior, his face showed up in my bathroom window. And I heard about 48 hours later that his wife or my grandmother had passed away.
Wow. Okay. So you've had this. Now, have you had other psychic type of gifts as far as? 'Cause I know there are lots of different. There's clairaudience, different things, dreaming. You're probably more knowledgeable than I am. Do you have like other things too that in the psychic realm kind of you're sensitive to, or I would
Sure.
imagine?
And Lillian, we're all born with the abilities. I think society teaches it out of us. And more directly, I think society isn't certain anymore how to support those innate senses that we all have. So certainly the experience in Arkansas, I actually saw with my naked eye. However, being able to see with the mind's eye is a gift that we can all choose to develop, should we choose to do so. One is usually more dominant, and that for me would be just knowing things. So we work on developing them. We can choose them and do exercises so that we can increase the availability of those different senses.
Kind of like working a muscle in a way.
Exactly, yes.
Have you had what was your most maybe troubling or memorable experience where you, besides the one that was kind of the one that opened you up to it?
It's a really good question. Like we said, there have been several different times, but I think probably the time that made the most impact for me in understanding that I can use these abilities to my advantage throughout my days was a house that I lived in Arkansas. There were multiple spirits in that house, and it was my first real understanding of haunted house. So I could hear, I could feel, I was touched, I was pinched. Lots of things happened there.
Very, very interesting.
An amazing teacher who helped me develop all of those gifts and the confidence to use them as well.
That's what I was going to ask. Was there, initially, early on, did you feel like you were not connected to other people because you had this gift?
Yeah, my mom actually reminded me when I was 7. I walked her to the front of the house and said, "Do you see those people over there? They're not here to hurt us." But she didn't remind me of that until I was 31. She didn't try to get me to decide that wasn't real, but she didn't know how to support it either.
I see. But I assume that it grew on her as far as that you have this gift and calling.
Yeah, absolutely. She showed up and talked to me the other day when I was ironing tablecloths.
So how did you get involved with this specific, is this an organization or a business that you started and it just kind of developed?
It's kind of a combination of both things.
Okay.
We're all here as independent contractors to a point. We each have our own businesses. There are 3 mediums here today, but we're here with Tribe 3 and we're here with Shadow Hunters Paranormal Investigations and Events. Tribe 3 is one of our sponsors.
Excellent.
Diet said, "Hey, we came in last fall," and she brought me back again this time with her as well.
Well, great to have you. Now, do you have any? Are you working on any books, or do you have like a social media presence that you blog? And
I have 3 podcasts that I'm guesting on this week. We're recording one Monday, one Tuesday, one Wednesday. I have another event up in Escanaba, Michigan that I'll be doing at the end of April. There are a couple other things going on. There is supposed to be a book in the works, and I've got some notes, but I'm not too far into it just yet. But I think I am looking forward to seeing all of you again at Spirits in the Spring at Broadhead Manor in Wisconsin.
Oh, excellent. I was actually going to ask you what's next in the horizon. So that sounds like I did a review of Expedition Entity at the Broadhead, and there was some very interesting events that were occurring there. So that's a prime location, it sounds like.
Larry and Dan over at Expedition Entity are absolutely two of the most amazing people that I've met in this industry, and Broadhead is probably a local favorite for a lot of us.
I can see why. So, do you have anything? But you're doing your mediumship services. Are you selling anything, or is this these are? I want to ask you about these crystals because I'm all about crystals. So.
The only thing I'm selling today is just my services. So if someone were to choose to sit down for either a psychic or a mediumship reading with me, I'm absolutely here for that.
All right.
Just some fun things. My Halloween flowers kind of fit in with the whole horror movie with the black roses. I brought a Lemurian crystal in with me, just kind of help keep things calm. And the same with the rose quartz. It just promotes that heart-centered love energy.
Warm energy, loving
Absolutely.
energy. Yes, very good.
Got some angelites sitting over there. The little blue stone right there that helps us keep connected with, of course, the more spiritual purposes of the angels with whom some of us choose to work.
Okay.
And I've got my favorite selenite hanging out in the corner over there. It's kind of, it fits perfectly in my hand. So it kind of helps keep me centered when I'm working.
That's good because I imagine when you're sensitive, I imagine it's hard not to go off. I mean, you have to be able to go off in a direction in a way that is not, non-earthly, but at the same time you need to be kind of centered in that moment. I imagine.
Stay centered, open to the information that's coming in, but also kind of maintain your bubble.
Right. Right. Well, thank you so much for talking to us. Where can they find out more what's going on?
Two different direct lines to find me. One is, of course, my website, which is up in the banner over my left shoulder, right at the bottom. I can be reached by phone at 630-506-8381. And I can also be found on Facebook. My business page is Deidre and Friends.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us. Appreciate you.
It was a pleasure to meet you, Lillian. Thanks again.
Good to meet you.